Right, so you're watching this because you want to reset your ECU for whatever reason. So you might have an engine emissions light come on, or you just changed the part and you need to reset your ECU or whatever. So super quick, it's a free way of doing it. Get straight off without all the blah blah blahs. The way to reset an ECU in most cars is just to unplug your battery. Take off the negative lead first and leave it off for a bit. You can take off the positive as well. Make sure that they do not touch. Don't let them two cables touch, so put them well away from each other. And leave the negative off for about 20 minutes, half an hour, just to be safe. And you want every bit of electricity out of the car. So the ECU has no electricity and it basically just resets itself. So any history that it would have had should be wiped off, and it's a fresh start for the ECU. You can do this to fault find, and this is what I done. I'll go into the blah blah blah. If, say for example, you've got an engine emissions light on, you've taken your battery out, the engine emissions light might come back on straight away. That's telling you that it's a certain part that needs to be used straight away is failing. Run the diagnostics and it will throw back the error code. What happened in my case, so this is a different scenario, is that the engine emissions light disappears. You're all happy thinking, yes, I've just saved a whole heap of money, I've done this for free, and then you keep driving, and then eventually after a couple of hours or a couple of days or a month or so, the light comes back on. Now that should tell you that it's a part that is used now and then. It might only kick in. So in my case, it was a DPF pressure sensor. So it would only use it every few miles or whatever to check the pressure in the DPF. It doesn't need to be constantly checking. If your light flashes, don't drive the car. Try not to drive the car. Try and get it fixed straight away. You're going to have to spend a bit of money because that means there's something seriously wrong within the engine, or something. You're going to end up just costing yourself a whole heap of money. You keep trying to drive it. You'll probably notice as well that your revs are not, your car's sluggish. The car just doesn't feel the same, okay? Try and get a diagnostics done. £20, the most I will pay. £20 is a fair price, I think. 10 quid should be. Plug your car in. Okay, here's a readout. This is what's wrong with your car. Don't take it to like a big dealer, like they're gonna rip you off. They're gonna charge you labor and this and that, and they're gonna just milk you dry. So the cheapest way of doing it, if you do have that fault coming back on, is take your car to a local garage. Drive around, take it there on a Saturday, or when you've got time, drive around to those little industrial estates where there's loads of garages. Pop into one. Hello mate, do you have a diagnostics machine? They might say, yes, we have a diagnostic. How much would you charge to diagnose my car? Now fair price is around, say, 20 quid. Should be less because it's a very quick thing. They plug the car in, they plug the laptop in, it takes them 10 minutes, the car spits out the code and tells you what's wrong. So no more than 20 quid. Anything more than 20, just drive somewhere else. Go take your business somewhere else. Go to another garage until you find one that's 20 quid or less. Boom, done. That way you know, okay, it's this part. Find out how, you know, you're watching YouTube, you know what to do. Look it up yourself, find it out. So in my case, DPF pressure sensor, go on Google. Where's the DPF pressure sensor? Might be a video of someone changing one. That's how I done it. It's a quick job. You just take off, lift up your bonnet, change the part, bish bash bosh, done. Sorted myself out for 40 quid and 20 minutes of my time, and the light's off and it stayed off and it's working, car's working great. For example, Audi wanted to charge me £200 to change the DPF pressure sensor. And the part was £40 and it took me 20 minutes to do. So there you go, I just saved 150 odd quid. And that's not including the fact that I already knew what was wrong and I asked them for that price. If I had gone there and said, look, there's something wrong, they would have charged me to fault find, and then they would have charged me more. So it would have been more than 200. So that's it. Take off your battery, leave it off for a bit. That will reset your ECU. It will not get rid of your remap or whatever, because I've got a remap. Quick and simple, unplug the battery, simple as that. It resets your ECU and lets you crack on, and or helps you to figure out what might be the problem.